In pre-event, of course, there's that identifying and reaching out to influencers part, and then trying to build excitement for event online as well as offline. And in this case, you probably have to work with PR people who will be able to sell the story to editorial offline journalists or broadcasters and so on. The event itself, when you have to be able to kind of take that moment and transform it in an online event as well. For example, you can use Facebook streaming that we've been using for one of our clients a few times. It's very effective and easy to use actually, now that you have a free application as well inside Facebook that allows you to do that. And post-event you need to be able to promote the created content, as in, even if you had a Facebook web streaming, you need to have a video of that. And the video needs to be kind of seeded through all social networks that you have, and try to transform it as our clients want in a viral video. And then of course you have to follow up with your influencers and see if they like the event or not, if they wrote something about the event, if they didn't like it, why, what happened, what went wrong, and so on. You have to kind of pamper them a little bit. And you have to come up with a report for the client, as I was telling you earlier. Yeah, this is an example of video activation that I'm going to talk about actually in a few minutes. But in case you're going to have access to this presentation after, you have a link there with YouTube channel. Have anyone heard of Captain Morgan as a brand?
Whiskey.
Yeah, it's actually rum. It's not whiskey, yeah. We're working with them in Ireland, and our colleagues in Ireland came up with a very nice strategy for video activation. And now a few case studies that I've tried to select some that are really interesting. The first one is about Ford. We've only started working with Ford in Europe for like 2 months or 3 months, so I don't have anything related to Europe. I only have things related to North America and how great they've done there. So basically they came to us because they wanted to transform the way they communicate and try to engage more with the consumers. They realized that their brand is seen as kind of old and not necessarily very appealing to young people, and they wanted to kind of increase that, let's say. And as you're probably going to be able to read at some point through here, they actually just took the decision to decline federal funds, and that kind of was a problem because they didn't have that much budget to spend, of course, on the normal offline marketing that they were doing, and it was easier to just engage online with a larger audience at that point. So what we've done for them was for blogger drives. Again, we kind of engaged with mommy bloggers as well, which are very strong from what I've heard, at least in North America. And put a Ford vehicle into their hands. There were 40 influential parenting, design, green and tech bloggers. They were able to take the car with them for a test drive experience. And we got quite a lot of coverage of that. And then there was this Ford Fiesta launch in New York City. They tried to rally some of the finest influencers in New York for a tweet up in honor of the launch of the Fiesta movement. Ford Fusion 1000 Mile Challenge. They created and distributed social media content so the world could watch as the Ford hybrid team drove over 1,400 miles on a single tank of gas, of course. Which are very interesting things. However, from my point of view, the most interesting thing that I've done was this one. They managed to reintroduce America's favorite SUV directly via Facebook. It was the first car company that did this. Before actually revealing the car into, I don't know, a motor show or anything like that, like they normally do, they just did that via Facebook directly to their consumers, rather than just putting them in a dealer shop and so on. Yeah, and this is an image of the mommy blogger is very excited that they're going to get to drive a Ford. And some of the coverage that we got because of the tweet up in New York as well, the results are very good. I'm not going to bore you with how many millions of unique monthly visitors and so on they had. And how we've done this was by integrating paid, earned, and owed media, and this is kind of how it happened for the pre-reveal, reveal, and post-reveal of the Facebook Ford SUV, and how they combined them.
Do you guys understand the difference between the three? Can you just quickly...
Yeah. I can't go back anyway because I don't know exactly how to do this. But basically, paid media is advertising, as I'm sure you all assumed. Owned media refers to the websites owned by the brand, the one that they can actually control. And earned media refers to those, well, let's say if a blogger writes about you and so on, that's considered to be earned media because you don't pay them to write for that, and it's not yours, your website, you actually control the content, but you kind of self-asserted them and you earn that, so it's earned media. That would be pretty much how I see it. The second case study is about Captain Morgan, which was launched in Ireland in September 2009. Their target audience, very interestingly, I would say, is considered, according to our insights, lazy. And they don't create content. So our challenge was to make them somehow engage with something, or make them, because they don't create content, try to create content for them and engage them in a way or another just by creating very, very little content. And you're going to see exactly how they've managed to have over 10,000 fans by June 2010. Basically, the hubs of their campaign were Facebook and YouTube, and they tried to drive relevance and credibility of Captain Morgan by involving the target audience that I was talking about earlier. And this is just to give you an idea. We use video uploads for this, photo uploads on their Facebook page. There are very interesting unprompted fan interactions that you're not going to be able to see on this screen. Basically, there was someone saying that, "I love you, Captain Morgan, can you adopt me?" Yeah, and interestingly, they've chosen to run the page not through a normal community manager, let's say. They tried to personify Captain Morgan in a person, an actor that was hired, and he was supposed to answer all comments on the Facebook page and so on, and he was supposed to have all the updates in his name, basically. There were some very interesting weekly competitions, and we tried to add like favorite pages, those that were relevant for our target audience. And we had some very interesting events that we promoted via the Facebook page as well. But the first campaign that we had was Dare the Captain. So fans were asked on the Facebook page to dare the captain to something that's very unusual, a legendary experience. So you could just go to the Facebook page and tell Captain Morgan that I want you to do this for me. And he would do that, film the video and post it online. So you could actually see if your idea was chosen or not. Again, that's why I actually have this link to the YouTube channel. You can have a look after that if you want some interesting things that he was asked to do. So we produced a series of videos on this, and there was as well a weekly competition based on that. So if your suggestion was chosen for the video, you got like 1,000 euros because it was in Ireland, or something like that. I'm not 100% sure of the amount. Yeah, 1,000 euros. And this is a little bit of the coverage that they managed to get based on the Dare. And during this campaign, apparently, they managed to have over 10,000 fans in 2 weeks. So it was really, really successful. Another campaign referred to Rose of Tralee. I'm pretty sure no one actually knows about this, so I'm going to explain what it is. So the Rose of Tralee is like a cheesy version of Miss World that happens in Ireland. And they've launched this, again, 3rd of Dare on Facebook. If you participated in the Rose of Tralee and you wanted Captain Morgan to accompany you, because one of the rules of this competition was that every person had to have some sort of escort. So you could ask Captain Morgan to be your escort during this competition, and he would just show up there. Of course, there would be a lot of buzz because you naturally have press if you have sort of weird person showing up there and pictures and people talking about it and so on. So again, it was quite successful. And some smaller case studies. Motorola Europe, we used to work for them at some point. We were managing their Facebook page, and we managed to kind of increase by 52% the number of fans, and by 171% the number of likes that were happening on their page. And there was a 95% decrease in comments around some controversial handset issues. That's why they actually needed our help at the very beginning, because they had some small problems with their updates, with their products and so on. So they had such a huge amount of critical comments that they needed someone to manage that. And we also worked for Ralph Lauren. We coordinated an influencer outreach campaign for the Legends Clinic, which happened about 5 or 6 months ago, if I'm not wrong. And we had like a webcast, live webcast on the ralphlauren.com website. The challenge was here for us because they only came to ask for our help like 2 weeks before the event. So we didn't have that much time to do all the influencer research, outreach, and so on that was actually required. And that's pretty much all, I think. Yeah. If you have any questions, please let me know. Or if you want to just connect with me and ask me at any point anything, just feel free to do that.
Thank you very much.